Hello, as you can see, my name is Avalon Johnson, and this is my biology final experiment. Additional info includes that the course name is Intro to Biological Diversity, ran by Colorado Christian University. This is the lab, and I already took the original course. And my instructor was Amanda Schuster, and the due date was December 12th, 2021. Here is my introduction, including explanations and whatnot. Preliminary observations and questions included each substance is in the same environment, aka the same area, so the liquids are not compromised. And my question was, will red cabbage actually work as a pH indicator? My hypothesis was, out of the 6 substances, lemon juice, all-purpose cleaner, and dish soap will be acidic, while Sprite, milk, and apple juice will be basic. Here are my methods to do this experiment. The materials included red cabbage, boiling hot water, a pot with a stovetop, a pipette, or a spoon, or a straw, or a measuring cup, whatever pleases your desires. Separate bowls for each substance. Now, you could pick however many substances you like. You could do 1, you could do up to 36. It doesn't matter. I chose 6. I did milk, all-purpose cleaner, apple juice, lemon juice, and Sprite. And I also did dish soap, but I did not list it on here on accident. Steps to take to do this experiment. To begin the experiment, one would take 1/2 or 1/4 of a head of red cabbage, depending on how many substances were to be tested, and cut it into chunks no bigger than 1 inch. Then the cabbage would be put into a pot along with about 4 cups of water and brought to a boil. While the water is heating, the experimenter would take separate bowls and containers and put their testing substances in them. Now, after the water in the pot turns into a blue-purple color, one would then strain the cabbage and keep the hot colored water. You could throw away the cabbage after this part. Next, using a pipette or a spoon or a straw or a measuring cup, whatever fits your desires, as I said, one would take the cabbage juice and put a couple drops of it into each substances. If done correctly, the substance would change color according to its pH, whether that be closer to a green-yellow color, which is very basic, or a pink-red color, which is very acidic. Finally, the person would record the results, tidy up, and the experiment would be over. This is the pH scale I used for my cabbage lab. 1 is being the most basic, and 14 is being 1 is the most acidic, and 14 is the most basic. Here are my results. For the blue, it's the actual pH that I determined, and the pink is the hypothesized pH, which is what I guessed beforehand. So for all-purpose cleaner, I guessed that it would be around 4 for the pH, which is acidic, and it ended up being very basic out of 10. Next, for milk, I thought it would be 8, which is closer to being basic than acidic, but it was actually 6, it was actually 6, which is closer to being acidic than basic. For apple juice, I guessed that it would be at a 10, which is very, very basic, and it was actually at a 5, which this surprised me. For lemon juice, I obviously guessed that the lemon juice would have a pH of 2, which is very, very acidic, and it was actually at a 3. For the next one, it was Sprite, and I wasn't very sure on this one, but I guessed that it would be at an 8, which is very close to being basic, but it could still be on that line of neutral. But it was actually 6.5, which is closer to acidic than basic, but it is also on the line of neutral. Next, for dish soap, I guessed a 4, and it actually came out to be a 4, which is acidic. About 83% of my liquids were acids, which is 5 out of the 6, and about 17% of my liquids were bases, which is just 1. And as I said down there were more acids. Conclusion to my preliminary observation and questions, I just said this is true because, yes, this is true. I did not have them in different areas as in the house. And red cabbage did work as a pH indicator. I did not think it was going to work personally. I thought it was just going to be a big fail, but it worked. My hypothesis, accepted or denied, I accepted for one liquid, which was lemon juice, because I guessed that it was acidic, and it was. But for the rest, I was wrong. All in all, this experiment showed me various things, including out of 6 assumptions in the hypothesis, only 2 were accepted. This was due to the fact that out of the 6 guesses of pH level, only 2 were correct. In this experiment, dish soap, Sprite, lemon juice, milk, and apple juice were out of the acidic category. In this experiment, all-purpose cleaner was the only basic liquid. In this lab, I learned that milk and apple juice are both acidic, which was very surprising to me. Thank you for watching my little presentation.